Yeah, we talk, we learn, we laugh out loud on CROSSTALK. Go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALK. Yeah, we talk, we learn, we laugh out loud on CROSSTALK. Go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALk, go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALK. Yeah, we talk, we learn, we laugh out loud on CROSSTALK. Go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALK, go CROSSTALK. Yeah, we talk, we learn, we laugh out loud on CROSSTALK. Go CROSSTALK, 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 go CROSSTALk. Welcome. This week's CROSSTALK. I know y'all saw the intro. Tell me if you're feeling it. Put it in the comments. Are you feeling it? I think y'all feeling it. Y'all feeling it? I don't know. Y'all feeling it? Let me know. But welcome to CROSSTALK, where we give you our take on subject matter that affects us in the spiritual realm as well as the physical realm. And we also talk scripture. That's right. It's all about Christ here. Again, welcome to CROSSTALK Internet Radio Show. I am your host, Minister STEBO, and I'm here with my partners in Christ, Minister Dukes, and, of course, the Bishop, the Archbishop, Bishop T. And we have, as a special guest, we pulled from our audience, and our lucky winner is Tashira Dukes. How y'all doing today?
Another great day in the Lord.
Doing good.
That's great. As y'all can see, we got some CROSSTALK swag. Bishop and me and Lynn are wearing the CROSSTALK podcast cap. I had mine on, but I took mine off because I didn't want us to look like a group. So let me go here and do a little business right now. Make sure you stop right now and share the show. Click those likes and hearts like crazy to get us trending so this CROSSTALK will pop up on people's timelines everywhere. Don't be shy. Don't be stingy. Don't be cruel. All right, you guys. So we're going to revisit one of the CROSSTALKs that we had in the past. I did this CROSSTALK by myself. Me and Lynn and Bishop T were actually in a meeting when we first did this one. So we're going to revisit this one. This is the one about Kevin Samuels. I watched a video of Kevin Samuels advising a 37-year-old mother of two that has chosen celibacy. He told her she was out of her mind, in so many words, and should be giving it away in order to secure a man. Now, this just so you our viewers can know, we are not bashing anybody. We're not bashing anybody, but we are, or we may or may not disagree with ideas and ideals. So, what's up, Keith? What's up, Keith? Our viewers on the show. Also, we have our conference line up. We're calling it the main line right now, so you can call us up and tell us what you want. The number is 712-832-7000. The access code is 921-1217 #. So, first off, let's see what did Kevin Samuels say? What did Kevin Samuels say? He basically told this young lady, she called it, first of all, this lady called into his show seeking advice from Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuel is a public he's a public figure who is a consultant, an image consultant, and he is also a content creator for Facebook and what is that, Shonda? For Facebook and Instagram. Well, not Instagram, not Facebook, but YouTube and Instagram. So she basically asked him, because she's chosen celibacy, is that the reason why she can't land a quality man or things of that nature? And he basically told her that she's too old to be, I'm trying to say this nicely, withholding at the age that she's at. She should be basically giving it away in order to secure herself a man. At the beginning, she said, I don't have a problem getting a man. That's not my problem. Literally what she said. So let's start there. What did Kevin Samuels say? Man, Lynn, you want to start off? What do you
Well, the first thing that caught my attention from Mr. Samuels, the first thing that caught my attention is when he basically he heard her out. She said, she didn't have a problem finding a man, but she said she usually land a weak man. Mm-hmm. So he basically was like, what is your definition of a weak man? He struck me as being an intellectual. I thought he was an intellectual, but he didn't seem like he was a very patient man concerning her conversation. And the first thing he said was about the celibacy situation. He was like, basically, do you got kids? So you mean to tell me you got 2 kids and now you're going to, quote unquote, close it up after this time and think you're going to land a quality man? And then basically he just went on to kind of like put her down,
ridicule her,
assassinate her character, outwit her, pretty much dominated the conversation, dominated her, had her all over the place. And then he even threatened with the recap of the podcast and said the viewer's gonna go in on it. He just seemed like he was just the aerial assault all by himself. I don't know anything about the man.
Exactly.
I don't know anything about the man. I saw that for the first time, and it's not a snap judgment, but based upon just what I seen yesterday on that particular podcast. He seemed to be. It seemed like it's his way or no way, because if he pretty much made her agree with him, and then when she realized what she was saying, she kind of backtracked. So then he made her seem like, you double talking. So he said a lot of things that caught my attention, but I'll give space for somebody else to say, and we'll come back to it.
Bishop,
well, as Minister Dukes was saying, this was my first time or having any type of meeting with him. I had not heard of him before. It seemed to me that when I did watch it, I think he is more into himself and what he can do for himself rather than aiding or assisting someone else. If this is his demeanor and his constant mannerism, he seems like he is more about making a name for himself and putting himself out to, for people to conflict with him, because people like conflict and confrontations. This is one of the things I've been talking about in my Bible study over the last several weeks, is when people met Jesus, every one of them met with him bringing a conflict or a contradiction. And people like this kind of stuff. I think he is trying to perhaps make way for him to be a Judge Judy. He may be trying to make way for him to want to be picked up or syndicated because he causes contradiction. I think he's more about himself than helping people. I did not.
Go ahead.
I did not exactly adhere to the way he talked to her, and not only that he talked to her, but he talked at her.
Yeah.
He seemed to have no respect for her because, as I said, it's all about him. He may talk like differently to somebody else, but this is my first encounter with him, and this is what I came away with in this endeavor.
Tashira, what was your impression on what he said?
Well, I have a couple things to address about what he said. When he said that she should basically just be giving it away. Mm-hmm. First of all, I commend her for not wanting to make the same mistakes. She was saying how she didn't want to attract the same kind of man. She wanted to do things differently. That's what I got out of what she was saying. Just because she has 2 kids doesn't mean she can't start over and do things differently. You know, so I commend her for wanting to do things differently. Like, now, whatever man that she ends up with later, I don't know if they'll actually wait to marriage. That's between them two. But for her wanting to start over and not make those same mistakes, not attract the same kind of men, there's nothing wrong with that.
And she even
that's one thing. And said it again.
No, she even said that in her commentary. She said, what's wrong with me trying to, if it didn't work this way, what's wrong with me trying it a different way? What am I losing?
Right. And if you don't do different, then you don't get different. If you're going to do the same things, you're going to get the same results. So she didn't want the same results. And another thing that I picked up on was when he told her, oh, you should basically just be giving it away. I felt like that was a double-edged sword answer. And I say that because of this. On one hand, you're saying you're almost 40, so you should just give it away. But let's flip the coin around. Let's say that she actually took your advice and gave it away. Then you probably would have been calling her a loose woman with no morals if she would have just given it away like you said. So there was no winning for her if it was Kevin Samuels talking, in my opinion. I don't understand how she could have won that with the way he put it, because I feel like that was a double-edged sword answer for that very reason.
Yes. That was awesome. That was awesome, Tisha. You holding your own, in front of our million watches.
One of the other things he did, Minister Thompson,
yes, sir.
He blew out that candle. You don't blow out candles. You snuff them out. Moron.
You talking about literally blew out the candle. I was all like, okay, let me see what he mean by this.
Literally.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he literally blew the candle out.
Yeah. And
candle makers will tell you that's improper.
It
was
candle.
I just thought I'd throw that in.
Candle makers everywhere were gasping.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So our next point. What do you think he meant? And let's start ladies first on this one. What do you think he meant, Tashira, by what he was saying to her? What do you think he meant? Or do you think that what
I
he
would
said?
say the part.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying on when he just said you should be giving it away. I think maybe I could be wrong, but I think that he was trying to say that you're not going to get a man to wait for marriage. I think that's what he was basically getting at, but that's not necessarily true. I mean, you
Right.
do have a lot of people who do not or did not wait till marriage to engage in sexual intercourse. But at the same point in time, there are a small percentage of people who have. So to say that that's not a possibility, that was not okay, because it is a possibility. It might be a smaller percentage possibility, but that doesn't make it non-existent.
Man, Lynn.
I think the one thing that excuse me, the one thing that blew me away, I would have to say the hypocrisy of it all. As a man, sometimes we would say something to a woman that we wouldn't want another man to say to our sisters, our mothers, our cousins, our nieces. Because basically, to give that, he's a consultant, and to be given that kind of advice to say, you know, at that age, you should be giving it away. Telling her that celibacy, it doesn't work in this day and age. You know, basically killing her, you know, her approach to how she want to go about another relationship. To me, what he was saying was it was hypocrisy, because what when I give advice to the opposite sex, the first person or the first demographic of people that come to mind are my daughters. Yes. And I wouldn't tell a woman something that I couldn't tell my daughters. I wouldn't tell her, "Oh, you at that age, you might as well be giving it away." Oh, that's not gonna work. You know, he basically just demoralized. You know, he went right into her. He kept going round and round with her. The one thing he attacked was that she said she knows her worth. Now, with that being said, if she knew her worth, the minute he stepped out of pocket talking to her, I wouldn't have gave him 30 minutes of that conversation. I just wouldn't have, you know. But to say that you know your worth, sometimes even in the question that he asked, what product over age gets better with use and time? And, you know, she was more concerned about being right about the answer than realizing where he was going with it, because he basically, if I may put it like this, right, he basically made her genitalia a product. And he said it ain't no good after a certain time. And if she knew her worth, the first thing you have to understand is I'm more than lips, hips, and fingertips. And a thick waist and a pretty face ain't all that I have to offer. So with that being said, if she would have thought about it while she continued to say she knew her worth, she would have realized that he was speaking to her beneath her worth. He was bringing her down as they spoke. So as he continued to, as you say, rope-a-dope her, you know, it was bait and switch. He kept baiting her. He kept bringing her in, and she kept falling for the bait. And I hated it for her, because, you know, like as Bishop had said, it was about making him look good. And she was getting frustrated when she didn't agree. And he pretty much coerced her to agreeing with him. And when she realized that she was agreeing, she tried to go back to what she was saying. I just felt really bad for her, because she couldn't match wits with him.
To piggyback off of that, I think she was so enthralled with trying to make people think that she wasn't being offended, that she just,
and it was obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that you're offended because of the, oh wow, you really, I
got thick skin.
Right. If you got thick skin, you don't need to say it.
Thick skin. It requires, it's for a time, you know. Like sometimes, I got an umbrella, but I'm not gonna stand in the kitchen under the faucet just because I'm covered. You know, the umbrella is for a time. It's for when it rains. It's for when I go outside. So I'm not gonna just say I got thick skin just to go through whatever conversation that I have to go through. You know, I'm not just gonna I got thick skin, so just assault me. No,
Right.
no, you got to use your intelligence. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have thick skin, but there's a time for thick skin, and then there's a time when you just have to abstain from that conversation.
Bishop.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's so true. It seemed that he was trying to tell her that you need to set your life pattern or gauge your life pattern on the trend of the times. I noticed he told her one time, you know, that's not going to work in these times. But, you know, she needs to develop the fact that, hey, I am me at all times. And regardless to what the trend says, you know, and people have to learn to be a trend setter and not just a trend petter. You know, I'm just going along just because this is what everybody else does. It seems that he was telling her, you know, you got to do it like the masses. You got to do it like everybody else does it. Do it like what other people would do. And she is constantly trying to tell him, I. And he is missing that because it goes right back to, if he accepts what she's saying about her, his conversation is over.
Yes.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
His line of thinking and talking and bashing her is over.
Right.
That segment is over because she's saying, you can't demean me. You can't put me down. You can't talk me into being like everybody else. I am not going to be as the class. She's saying to him, I'm a class act.
Right.
All by myself.
Impressive.
I am not just a personality. I'm a person.
Outstanding.
Don't rate me. And if he had accepted what she was saying, as I said, that would have been over. She's saying, don't rate me. You're not qualified to do so. And he's saying, you know, I'm looking at your picture. You're overweight. Hey, man, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
You're bigger than a man.
Right. We're going to get into that.
Oh, okay.
So look, here's the point that I like to point out. He said, I mean, you guys said that you can't tell me what I'm worth. You don't go into any kind of store and tell them what their prices should be on their product. This is my product.
I've established
That's not your
price,
place.
and if you want to make the purchase, you pay the purchase
You
price.
pay
If not, go down the street.
Exactly.
But even in knowing her worth, I ain't no product. You know, you're not going to categorize me as some kind of commodity. I'm not a product. So while you giving this what product gets better with time and usage, you're like, well, you're talking about those things. I'm not that. I'm not a product.
Right.
I'm somebody. I'm not something. I'm somebody.
Oh man, yeah.
So like I said, he attacked that I know my worth. And the Bible says, like, even in the case of the virtuous woman, her price is far above rubies. How much are rubies? Because your price is even above more than that. So while you saying you know your worth, I wouldn't even grasp a hold of that and say I know my worth. I'll just say, look, I know my worth is in the stratosphere somewhere. So how you talking to me?
Real quick, quick take, right quick. What do you think in less than 30 seconds? What do you think he meant?
About what?
What he said.
Drop your standards.
I think he meant exactly.
He told that girl to drop her standards.
Bishop,
Exactly.
we all in agreement.
Exactly. You're
Yeah,
not
I
what
think he meant exactly what he said.
you're not what you think you are. You're based upon a table. You're rated.
You know your worth, but I don't think you're worth it.
Sheesh. Okay. Okay.
When
Let's see. Let's go to these comments right quick. Shonda says he could be a good person, and he definitely gave questionable advice. But he could be a good person, but he definitely gave questionable advice. I agree with that. Let's get a ding on that one. At some point, Wakita says, at some point, sounds like she stopped listening to hear and started listening to respond. You know what? I have to agree with that. What else? And Shonda says, as if she can't reset her life near 40.
she almost let him talk her down.
Mm-hmm. It's a submission.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, here we go. Let's play the devil's advocate or the Kevin's advocate on this one. Are there valid points in what he said? Did he have any valid points in what he said to, about, or, concerning her? Who want to go first?
I'll go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Honestly, I didn't really see any validity in what he said. A lot of what he said made me angry as a woman for her, because you're saying, oh, my genitalia is not worth it after a certain time, but you don't put that same standard on a man. What about all these men out here who think that they can sow their royal oats and then settle down with a virgin?
We getting there. But don't go there just yet. But this is we arguing the other side. So are there?
Well, the way that I see it, everything that he said wasn't wrong. It just wasn't right. He was talking about feelings, and when we're talking about feelings versus facts, you can't say I'm wrong about my feelings. Right. But the thing about it was he promoted it as fact. He wasn't giving facts. He was giving stats. There's a difference.
Oh, wait. Go ahead. I had to give you the bell.
He wasn't giving facts. He was giving stats. And numbers don't lie, but they don't tell the whole truth. So when he started talking about the numbers, you're bigger than a man. He made it sound like she bigger than a whole lot of men. Right. He was hitting her with a lot of things, and as she was saying, that's your opinion. And he brought it back like, no, that's not my opinion. Those are the stats, not the facts. And she couldn't argue the stats. And even with he attacked what she said, when she came back with, oh, you must be seeing a white woman.
Hey, check
why
this
she
out.
gotta be white?
Me and Lynn, we talked about this the other night, and I had to look at the video again, because not that I didn't believe you, but I didn't notice it. He never said these are facts.
Exactly.
He said, this is not my opinion. No, it's not my opinion. And he just stopped. He stopped, as if you could tell he was about to say something, but then he was like, nah, I better not say that. So it's right. It kind of leads me to believe that he's intelligent, he's shrewd, so he knows what to say and what not to say, where to say it to make it sound like this is without me saying this is how what I feel is fact. He knows how to say it without saying it.
When you say it in such a convincing manner, it comes off like fact when it's actually not.
Bishop.
Well, as you're talking about those things, the facts.
Center yourself out again, Bishop.
I'm sorry.
Center yourself out again.
I like sitting off to the side. Okay. Yeah, but as you were presenting that, he would leave. He would say things and leave it end open so that she could
hang herself with it.
Hang her own self.
Yep.
He didn't say, as you said, he didn't say these were facts, but he presented it, left it open where she would, whereas we were going on after that to say he didn't say facts. He left it open so that she could say facts her own self. Yeah. In my opinion, you mentioned, I think the validity of what he was saying was lost in his presentation. He is a word manipulator. And if you allow him, it's like the adversary who is nothing but a paper tiger, but will growl you into submission.
Exactly.
That's where the validity was lost.
But do you
think
that he had
like
any
serving?
Do you think that he had any valid points in what he said?
I think he had some. He said some valid things. Yeah, he said some valid things. I think though the validity of it was lost in his presentation. It's like offering somebody a steak in a garbage can.
Now he did. Now this is the part where he shaped this point in a valid, I guess, in a valid way. So he says, at your height and weight, you are bigger than the man. At 5'4",
they call her a defensive lineman.
Yes, that was. I know that wasn't supposed to be funny, according to us, but that was kind of funny to me. But 5'4", and he said 200 pounds. If we height weight adjusted you, you'd be as big as an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but you could kind of see how that could be valid. If you're 5'4" and 200 pounds, if you grew taller, you're probably going to weigh more. So I guess that would be kind of true. I mean, valid point. I think so.
It's a valid point in theory. It's a valid point in theory, but we're not talking theoretically. We're talking the actual. He made it sound like I'm talking facts, and he based it upon her and her stature and everything surrounding her. As a matter of fact, she said 180, so of course he rounded it off to 200. He like, you fat, and he's like, and then he went on to his preference of women. The women I date are around 120, 125, and then he attacked. She came back with, must be messing with white women, and then he went in on that. So it's like you can't match wits with this man. Right. She wasn't on his intellectual level. I wouldn't say he's the most intelligent, but he did come off like an intellectual.
Yeah,
and she couldn't match wits with him. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like the Eve in the garden with the snake. God said don't touch it, don't look at it, don't even touch it. And he's like, did God really say that? Because when you lie to a liar, I got you now. So when she started trying to match wits with him, he was like this. I got you now. Everything you say can and will be held against you on this podcast.
All right, check this out. Let's go with Tashira on this one. Let's start here. Do you disagree or agree with what he said?
As far as agreeing with him, now 5'4" and 180, that technically is overweight. So I understand that. But what I didn't like was the fact that he made her weight seem like she couldn't get a man, or that her worth was decreased because of her weight. I didn't like the fact that how he spent it to be in that nature. But as far as what he was saying about, oh, you're no good after a certain amount of time, or your genitalia is no good after a certain amount of time, you don't put that same worth on a man. If a man would have called in and said, oh, I've been messing around with women my whole life, and now I want to get it together, I want to slow down and actually find a good woman, would you have told him that his genitalia was no good after a certain amount of time? Would you have told him that? Would you have told him he's out of his mind?
Right.
Or would you have validated what he wanted to say?
Oh, it's
like that's the hypocrisy that my uncle was talking about. It's the one, on one hand you tell women one thing, but if this was a man, you would have, I feel like he would have validated his worth more. So if a man would have called in and said the same thing, that he wanted to start over and be with a high value woman, you would have probably given him credit for that. But yet when the woman does the same thing, she calls in and look for this advice to say, I want a high quality man, I want to do something different, you tell me I'm no good after a certain amount of time. Why is it that my age and my body count, why does everything about me matter but nothing about him would have? I feel like that's a double standard.
I agree totally. I gave you a couple bills on that. I know you can't hear them, but I gave you a few bills on those. But do you think that he would have had the same I guess, do you think he would have given himself that same response had had it been him trying to start over or whatever? I got all this money and blah 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 to secure a woman, I should be trying to give my money away. Do you think that he would have had that same response on there?
No. And you know what? You're inside of my head, because that was my same example. If this was a man who called in, wanted some monetary or financial advice, years and years, and then all of a sudden he flips the switch and say, okay, this time I want to settle down, I don't want to spend my money frivolously anymore, I want to invest it on something or someone that's worth my time. You wouldn't have told him, oh, you should just be giving your money away.
Right.
You wouldn't have just said, just give your money away. You would have been like, invest it, be smarter with it, don't spend it frivolously. You would have given that, because that would have been completely different advice. And now this woman wants to do something different, but you knock her for it. I'm protecting my assets too.
Whoa.
Hello? I'm protecting mine too. So what's the difference?
All right.
Ooh, hold on, wait. Somebody lift those hands. Lift those hands on that one. Me and Lynn.
And that
go to Dukes. We always go me and Lynn second. Well, let's go Bishop second. I'm anxious to hear what you got to say on that one.
Well, I'm definitely in that same courtyard. Instead of saying what you want to say to provoke at that time, I think one of the things he needs to do is to invest in truth, not just saying what he needs to say to provoke something.
Whew. Bishop, right before you go there, me and Lynn was talking about this the other day, and I was saying, I hope that this is for shock value. I hope that this is for shock value and not his true feelings on what he would actually give as advice. Go ahead, my bad. You hold on. Let me give you some bells over here. I'll give you some. All right, go ahead. My bad.
That was basically, I'm so in agreement with what Tashira was saying. It has to be an even playing field, and if you're not going to play fair, then you need to take your bat and ball and go home, and not just say what what you need to say to bring defiance. Let me keep picking in this sore because I've got a case. And I even thought about if there was somebody that he was talking to who was as dominating as he is, would he have prolonged that conversation?
And you know what, Bishop?
And be able to talk to him on the same level and not allow him to talk you into a demeaning position, because that's basically what she was doing. She had that happen to her. He talked her down into practically submission. Now, I'm saying to be able to talk to somebody, if he got, here it is right here, if he got Lindell Dukes on the phone, would he have sustained that conversation? Or, brother, I'll talk to you later.
Right.
Because he wouldn't.
I didn't say me. I think we might have lost Tashira. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying. No, I didn't mention me because he really wouldn't want to talk to me. He kind of lost me when he started with the profanity.
Exactly.
And you know what? Here's another double standard. I'm glad you brought that up. He said at the beginning, she said, "Well, do you want me to keep it real?" He said, "No, I want you to keep it classy." But and then he started talking. He started talking like moderate, and then she says, he goes and then you are like, "You out your GD mind." And then he started saying, "You need to start giving that S away." So now, wait. Why do I have to keep it classy, but you talking all kind of other stuff? You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it has to be on the even playing field. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was saying keep it classy, and he went trashy, ashy, and bashy. It was like he just went at a full assault with this woman.
Right.
And if I can't stress it enough, he's talking product and she's talking self. And I'm trying to better myself. And he's steady putting her down like she's I remember Master P when he was talking about I'm the boss in my product, as opposed to when I manage people, I'm selling my product. My product can't argue back with me. My product can't get on the same level with me. My product can't, my product is going to do what I make it do.
Right.
And I thought about that when he was continuously telling this woman, basically, she's a product. But she was steady saying, I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to do something different. And as Shira had said, if a man came on there and said, I'm trying to do something with my money, X, Y, and Z, he'd be a stand-up guy. He would have gave him a whole different kind of velocity. But she want to come on here and say, I don't want to continue to do what I've been doing with my body all this time. I don't want to attract these kind of men. I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. And she continuously saying this, and he pretty much talked her onto a ledge. Because I can't say talked her down from one. He put her on one. I'm just glad she didn't jump.
Yeah, I think we lost Tashira. Tashira, if you can hear me, just use that same link. Come back on, and I'll see you when you get back on. Yeah, that definitely, in total agreement there. Let's take a break right here. Pay some of these bills. We don't really have any, but I'm just speaking those things. Watch out. So yeah. There you go, Tashira. Tashira's back, and we'll get back with you in a sec, Tashira, if you can hear me. All right. Let's pay some of these bills, and we'll be back after these messages, and hopefully we can get Tashira back in here, and we can talk some more stuff. All right.
And now a word from
all right.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
So
So, are you tired of hearing the same old songs on the radio day after day? Or maybe you just want to hear some good old local gospel music? Well, I have something just for you. The Voice is Me Too Music's 24/7 online radio station that plays the very best in St. Louis gospel artists and abroad. So you can tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.metoomusic.com. That's www.metoomusic.com. Click over on the Voice page and you can listen at any time to any of the best in St. Louis gospel. The Voice, giving a voice to St. Louis area gospel.
Hey everybody, this is Tamika Fogarty. I'd love for you to pick up my project entitled Always There, featuring Yes, God is Real, My God is Real, the Hallelujah Worship Medley, my title song, Always There, He's there through your thick and your thin. And much more. Be sure to get my new project, Always There, available on all digital outlets. Get it now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't had taken the opportunity to hang out on the corner of Natural Bridge and Jenner Station Road for some really good fish and seafood, get by the Fish House and sample some of that awesome menu. Tell Tammy and Jerry that the good folks at LMBC/LMBC.TV sent you. Probably won't get any free food, but you'll get some good food. Also, make sure you stop by. Hold on, let me go back here. Stop by Brother Stewart's DM and order you a Made by God t-shirt. His inbox on Instagram is @madebygod.__. That's madebygod.__. All right, we are back, and we are bad. All right. I was trying to give Tashira a little bit more time to get in here, but I guess I can't. All right. So next segment, and we almost done, y'all. What did the caller say? What did she say? Man, Lynn, you want to start? Or Bishop T, you want to start?
Well, we've been kind of basically talking about what she said. Most even you can't actually go with what he was saying without, bringing what she said, because he was fueling off of her. He was doing a lot of twisting what she said to make his point, to make him look better, and to make his points more forceful. She said, and he was provoking her with those kind of questions. How tall are you? And that kind of stuff. Yeah. So she was mostly responding to him, and he was using what she said as a stair steps to climb over her.
That was easy.
And even with that being said, I guess it didn't fly under the radar, but he let the cat out the bag that he is preferable. He put his preference out there. Basically she ain't his type. So with that being said, he didn't have no pity on saying the things that he said. And basically he let I don't mess with fat women. I don't mess with children. All of these things came out in his conversation. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I mess with, 125, 120, and then he made it seem like it was what's wrong with being healthy? What's wrong with being healthy? Because basically he was calling her fat and out of shape, so he was like, what's wrong with just healthy women? That's why they got to be white. Then he played the race card. So it was like, man, she couldn't win. She couldn't win.
There was no way that she could have. There was no way. That's just that you can't go at him like him. If she would have stayed where she was at the beginning, when she said, I don't have a problem finding a man. Sex is not the issue. I don't have a problem finding a man. Just stay there instead of trying to go into, oh, well, are you trying to bring me into wits? Let me show him that I'm not dumb. And when you try to act like you're not dumb, you show how, unknowledgeable you are.
She allowed him to lure her out of her own comfort zone into his yard where he knew where all the sticks and bricks were.
Home field advantage.
Put them hands up.
Yeah.
Somebody lift those hands up. Bishop, go ahead and open up the doors of the church.
Yeah, he allowed her to do it to her.
Yes. Yeah. You get another
one. He baited her.
He did. He did. You're right, Robin. He sure did.
And she bit every time.
And as I wrote in my chat, I'm not going to talk about him again because it's like giving the devil a lot of airtime.
Amen.
So having said that, could she have said what she said better, and how? If so, how could she have done? Well, I guess we just answered that, huh? By sticking to her gun.
Well, if she had stayed in her yard,
yeah.
If she had stayed in her yard and not be lured into his.
As I was listening to it, I was kind of like, tag me in. I wish he had a lifeline. I wish he had a lifeline, because it's like, I know what you're saying. You're just not saying it effectively. Not
and
only are you
not at all.
Right. And not only are you not saying it effectively, you it's like you're giving and then you're taking it back. And then for a minute, she was so confused that it was like, yeah, you right. Wait a minute. No, you're not. I was like, oh my God.
Just because
she didn't know she was coming or going after a while.
She was all like, I'm not as big as a man. So what if I am as big as a man? And that's all he needed. That's all he needed was
he knew he broke her. He knew he broke her.
So I guess in without going back to what he was doing, because I keep on saying same thing. Yep, I agree. And I go right back to talking about him again. But I think that she could have, like Bishop said, stayed in her own yard where she knew where the sticks and the bricks were. I got to give you another ding for that, Bishop. Yeah, where she knew where all the sticks and the bricks were, and with her comfort level to where she doesn't have to overexert just to get back at him, to where she's now in charge of the conversation.
Yeah,
right.
She
didn't fight fire with fire.
She didn't have very long control over the conversation. She started off and said, "Hey, I'm celibate for 2 years," and as soon as he took over the conversation.
Actually, she never had control.
No,
that was an intro.
She had control for about 30 seconds for when she was telling him that, hey, I don't have an issue with finding a man and this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. If you really look at the video, she sounded more confident in those first 30 seconds.
Right, but I'm saying it wasn't about control. It was more of an intro. It was an intro.
Confidence does not denote control.
Exactly. She was just giving an intro. He let her talk, and then he tuned in. Everything she said, he was picking at it. When she said she knew her worth, he was ready to pounce right there, because it's a lot of people that say they know their worth. And when I know my worth. Really, let's see how much you worth. She gave that man 30 minutes of demeaning conversation. She let him put her. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I called. I gotta let you go because we can't talk. The minute he said, like you said, keep it classy, and then he went south. You're like, hold up, wait a minute. You told me to keep it classy, and you're talking to me like that. And then he got sarcastic. Check, please. Check, please. We can't talk. We can't talk.
Do you not see it is classic Satan. It is classic Satan, who lures you out of where you are strong at, who even lures you into listen, he made her think that she was in charge of what she was saying, just so he could trip
cut
her
her
up.
legs, cut her legs from under.
That is so classic Satan.
That was classic. That was classic Garden of Eden. That was classic in the wilderness for the 40 days and 40 nights. That was Satan.
Do you hear me?
And just as I don't care how big technology gets, I don't care how advanced things go, he can still go down to the boat, and he can still go down to the river with his stick and his string and catch us with that same old bait.
The lust of the flesh,
the lust of the eye, and the pride of life.
Absolutely.
The same bait and switch.
Yep. Shonda says, and played music as if he buried her. Well, he did with that conversation.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That
And
was
kept
easy.
hitting the whip button. Got you.
Yeah, I need to get that one.
Wow.
I'm gonna get that sound effect because I did like that sound effect. But man, it was, yeah. So last point, what did we learn? What should we take away from this?
Let me just ask this, Reverend. Did you notice the sound effects? He knew what he was going to do before he did it.
Yep.
You could see him moving the mouse. Let me move the mouse over to this sound effect because I'm getting ready to do this as soon as she says so and so.
Right. Tashira, are you there? Because I see you over there, but I don't see your camera.
I think she's frozen.
Okay. Well, Tashira,
I can hear you.
You can hear her?
Yeah,
I can hear her.
I can't hear her. Well, Tashira, if you can hear me, thank you for coming in. Try to get back in so we can get you some final words. Yeah, but what should we? Were you done, Bishop?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did we learn? What should we take away from this?
Never call Kevin Samuels. That was just an impromptu. That's all.
That was that good answer right there. What did we learn, man, Lynn? 20 seconds.
The one thing you got to know is yourself before you go into the battle.
You better know it.
You gotta know yourself before you go to the battle. And when you're going into the battle, don't just go by yourself. Take the word with you.
All I can say is ditto.
Yeah,
that gets it.
I gave you a couple of dings and a couple of other sound effects. That was good. I mean, that sounds like David with his armor with Saul. I can't go into battle like this. I don't know. This armor is not tested. I don't know. This is not me. Yeah. This is not me. I'm going in with what I know. Bishop, my bad.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, stay in your own yard.
Yeah,
don't be lured out. Yeah. Stay with your strong point. So don't let anybody lure you out.
Yeah. They say that in sports all the time. Stick to the game plan.
Right.
Don't try to play their game. Play your game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they say if you make it to the playoffs, stick with what got you here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
2 yards. Run it in. Don't throw it.
Is that a Seahawks analogy?
Oh my goodness! Whoa!
Is that a Seahawks
I'm just
analogy that I hear?
I'm just here so I won't get fined. A la Marshawn Lynch.
Oh my goodness!
Real quick.
I bet Marshawn Lynch flipped over when you said that. He did a flip.
All right, my last, we gonna hit up sports right quick. Sports, real quick. I know. Before you even say it, I'm gonna say it, man, Lynn. My Rams lost.
Know.
My Rams lost, and it was a humiliating loss. A humiliating loss. Up 17-0, and we lose 28-24. So now that I've taken the sting away from what you got to say about that, how do you think that the Cowboys are going to fare against the
Niners?
The Niners.
How prophetic. I was saying before we got a team in St. Louis, you was either a Niners fan or a Cowboys fan. Well, I just think we're going to win, and that's the bottom line. We can go to somebody else.
Bishop, you a Chiefs fan, right?
How about them Cowboys?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He a Missouri fan.
There are certain, things that I have against certain teams. I don't want to see Tampa Bay go up.
Tell me what? Wait, hold on. Lift those hands. Somebody lift those hands. Somebody lift those hands. If you love them. I was telling me and Lynn, I don't care who beat Tampa Bay.
My favorite team is the team that beats Tampa Bay.
Yes.
I hope that team is the referees.
Right. Whoever's on the other side of the ball, I don't care. It could be the Rams. It could be the Cowboys. If it's the Cowboys, I'll root for the Cowboys. If it's the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I'll root for the Chiefs.
It could be Sumner.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Well, y'all, that's our time.
Long as somebody beat Brady.
You hear me? All right, so let's do this one last. I'm going to do the books. We're going to hit the books up. So, my bad. All right, so go ahead and get to if you're a reader, like Bishop says, leaders or readers, pick up your copies of Bishop's books. He that hath an ear, anywhere you can download ebooks, and go ahead and while you're at it, pick up Stair Steps to Answer Prayers at www.stairstepstoanswerprayers.com. Also, Elaine Raglan, Manifestations by Elaine Raglan is available now for download at bookbaby.com. Put it in the middle. Also, if you like good music, make sure you stop by www.gabrielmusic.com and pick up some good music. That's a little sample of Lost Without You. That's Minister of Music album, Minister of Music remix. Also, the second album by Gabriel, like the Garden of Eden, called The Second Album. Pick up
You
that.
better go up there twice now.
What's that?
I said, Shira, you better go. She's up there twice now.
She on?
Well, she gone now. She's down to one.
I still can't see or hear her. Also pick up Gabriel, Glad I'm Saved. And it's not too late, just in case you're still in the fa-la-la-la-la festivity feelings or whatever you want to call it. Pick up The Bishop and Me, the Christmas album by The Bishop and Me. Also, if it's your birthday, anytime between last week and this week, happy birthday to you. Whatever age you are indeed blessed to be that age. And finally, Anointed Cake Creations. Nobody, go ahead and say it, Bishop. I don't have my notes up.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
While we're getting that together, I just want to invite
Nobody
everybody.
bakes a cake. Nobody bakes a cake like Carla Saul bakes a cake. So get your cake baked at Anointed Bake. Wait. Nobody bakes a cake like Nobody bakes a cake like Carla Saul bakes a cake. So get your cake baked at Anointed Cake Creations. It's all good. I tried, Carla.
I just want to invite everybody to Word Enrichment on Wednesday, 12 o'clock noon and 7 p.m. See you there.
Yes.
Chapter 9 of the Gospel of John.
Yes, and we have a new look for you on Word Enrichment. So enjoy. Anybody got any last words?
If there's anything you want to hear talked about on Crosstalk, please get at us. We are on the main line. Your victory is in your praise, and without your praise, where is your victory?
Remember, you can get bad advice from good people.
And don't call Kevin Samuels.
Never.
All right, so
thank you, Shira, for being with us tonight.
Thank you to Shira.
You said a mouthful, Shira.
Yes, you killed your internet. You said what you had to say and broke the internet.
You broke your own internet.
Right. But
good stuff tonight.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, wait, go ahead and say what you normally say, man, Lynn.
About what?
About victory.
I just said it.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Did.
Okay. Bishop.
God bless you all. Be blessed. Stay safe and warm. And I'll see you. You know that.
In the rapture.
Definitely. In the rapture.
And you guys take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We did it. We're only 8 minutes over this time. We'll try better to do it better next week on Crosstalk.
That's because of you and that announcement from Koala.
Whatever.
They never get it right.
6 minutes trying to get it.
Yeah, right. Go Rams!
Bye-bye. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, we talk, we learn, we laugh out loud on Crosstalk. Go Crosstalk, go Crosstalk, go Crosstalk, go Crosstalk. Yeah, we talk, we learn, we laugh out loud on Crosstalk. Go Crosstalk, go Crosstalk, go Crosstalk, go Crosstalk. Yeah, we talk, we learn, we laugh out loud.